So I'm just going to give you a little bit more info here on Tom Stearns. Tom Stearns began gardening at an early age at his family home in Connecticut, prior to completing a degree in sustainable agriculture from Prescott College in Arizona. He began saving seeds. A hobby was born in 1996 in Vermont when Tom began sharing these seeds with others through a small seed flyer. High Mowing Organic Seeds has since expanded into one of the leading organic seed companies in the U.S., supplying both home gardeners and commercial growers. Tom's vision has always been to create a company that would help support the rebuilding of a healthy food system, first in Vermont, followed by the rest of the U.S. He has also taught numerous workshops since 1996 on many topics such as agriculture, education, economics, community-supported agriculture, genetic engineering, plant breeding, local food systems, sustainable business, investing, and more. In addition, he has served on the board of several agricultural organizations, most notably as the current president of the Center for an Agricultural Economy. He lives on 50 acres in Vermont with his wife, Heather, and their 2 girls, Ruby and Cora. And before I turn the time over to Tom, I just wanted to read this one paragraph that I thought kind of said what I would want to say. It is the goal of the Center for an Agricultural Economy to build upon our region's history and traditions and lead the way in creating a food system that creates healthy people as it creates healthy soil, that creates healthy jobs as it creates healthy communities, that creates a healthy economy, and ultimately creates a comprehensive healthy food system that inspires others in their communities to do the same. You are invited and needed in this task, and it may just be the most exciting thing you've ever done. So with that note, I would like you to welcome Tom, all the way from Vermont.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
All right. We don't have these in Vermont yet, so you have to forgive me. We are backwaters.
Imagine a place where locally owned and green businesses collaborate to create transformative change, where active land trusts are preserving farmland for future generations of farmers, where 50% of the dairies are organic and 75% of the vegetable farms, where 50% of all other farms are organic: beef, lamb, pork, fruit, grain, and oils, where the entire food system has active businesses and organizations, from soil to seed to production and processing, distribution, and finally composting and back to soil. Where all the schools have gardens, and they visit farms, and they cook, and it's all part of their curriculum. Where a community-supported restaurant raised all of its money from the community and spends 70% of its food dollars within 10 miles. Where local people financially support these businesses and ventures with their investments. Where 25% of the workforce is involved in value-added and organic agriculture. And where the biggest employers in the region are a sustainable agriculture college, an artisan cheese aging and distribution company, and an organic seed company. This is the place where I come from. And it hasn't always been like that, of course. We all start at the beginning. Hardwick's story is a unique one. I'll give you a little bit of it. But I mostly want to tell you the story of these ventures, the collaborative work that they're doing together, and hear your thoughts and questions about what you have here, what you're looking for here. And first, I just have to say, you all should be really proud to live in such a beautiful place. And on an evening like this, when you all have many things to do, look around you. You've got a great group of people here. Good job. I'm proud of you also. And have no doubt that there are communities and groups of people just like us right now that are gathering all over this planet, discussing, trying to figure out how to solve these big challenges that we face. And they have a renewed hope for doing that. So you're part of something much bigger than just here in your beautiful valley, and much bigger than just this evening. And I know you all know that, but when times are tough and you're working hard and your head is down and you're weeding or you're growing your crops or you're struggling in your work, whatever it may be, this is, for me, always helpful to remember that there are a lot of people out there also struggling, but working really hard. A long time ago, this food system of ours was local, of course. There was no alternative to that. It just was. Nobody planned on making it that way. It just was. Then, a couple hundred years ago, the food system stopped being quite so local, and as we all know well, has slid and slid and slid to the point where now most of our food is not local at all. We didn't plan on doing that either. Nobody set about trying to say, let's create a food system that is so broken that it destroys a planet. I would be very concerned if anyone really did have that strategy. And I actually think probably there are some very large companies that are strategizing and are making some decisions that go in that direction. And so there's a lot of battles to fight on that front as we're building the good food system that we know we need to. You guys may have heard a little bit about the genetically modified sugar beet case. And so if you haven't heard, that's a case that my company and 3 NGOs in the United States brought against the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And 8 days ago, we won. So I know typically you haven't liked us south of the border there, especially for those 8 years. Remember those? I'm really sorry about that. Hopefully you're liking us a little bit more lately. We're liking ourselves a little bit more lately. But we invented the broken food system in the United States, so I feel like we were a little bit obligated to fix it. Kind of like going to a pottery shop and picking up a bowl and dropping it and breaking it and yowing it, right? So the argument about climate change and various, carbon emissions and how China is emitting so much, if they're not going to cut back, why should we cut back here, the U.S. and Canada? I don't buy that one for a second, of course. I'm sure none of you do either. We need to lead. We need to lead. And we've been leading in the wrong ways for a long time. And so I think there's a good opportunity for us to change our tune, and I think the food system is a great way to do it. So now that we have this broken food system, and a few of you know, most of you probably know about all the examples of that, this is the first time that we actually have an opportunity to intentionally create a food system. 10,000 years ago, we were hunters and gatherers and early agriculturalists, and we did our thing. Industrial Revolution, and oil comes, and we have this severely broken system now that we see. But now we know what the stakes are. Now we know how bad it can be, and it's really the first time we're making these conscious decisions on buying local, on feeding ourselves and our greater regions, on not shipping food products, at least staple food products, all over the place. Agriculture is the biggest user of energy on the planet. You don't hear them in Copenhagen planning to talk about agriculture that much, although it is the biggest contributor to climate change on the planet. And in agriculture lies the biggest solutions to climate change as well.